The Nintendo Switch is a treasure trove of well-known Metroidvanias, but beyond the heavy hitters are a huge amount of lesser-known genre entries that do deserve to be played. Now today, I want to dive into a selection of those hidden gems. Now if you do have a favourite and not mentioned, let us know in the comments, and if you do find a new game to pick up, consider sharing the video and subscribing to support the channel. It means a huge amount. Kicking off our list is Ghost 1.0, a game that plunges us into the role of Ghost, an agent hired by super hackers for a critical mission, that is to infiltrate the Nakamura space station and uncover a groundbreaking electronic secret. Now surprisingly, this story is laced with humour, adding an unexpected twist to this adventure. Now gameplay wise, it melds Metroidvania exploration with twin stick shooter action, and for me a standout feature here is the unique possession mechanic. This allows Ghost to control enemy robots for combat and puzzle solving. Definitely makes it a really unique experience. Now what sets it apart even further then are the two gameplay modes. That's Classic, offering a traditional Metroidvania experience, and then Survival, which raises the stakes with faster upgrades but also harsher penalties upon death. Basically, this means you will lose everything if you do fall in battle. A robot named Fight catapults us into a dystopian world under siege by a flesh-hungry mega beast. Now as a solitary robot committed to the survival of its kind, you are thrust into a relentless battle for the future. And what truly sets this Metroidvania apart are its procedurally generated levels, guaranteeing that every single playthrough offers a new challenge. Combat then in a robot named Fight is intense, and it demands both quick reflexes and smart strategy, utilizing an ever-growing arsenal to combat the Mega Beast's minions. As you navigate this perilous world, exploration is going to be rewarded with vital upgrades and abilities, and each of these are going to be key to defeating bosses, and also of course advancing deeper into the Mega Beast domain. I should also warn then, this is a roguelike, meaning a permadeath feature, so it's all about learning and adapting to the situation around you. Dandara Trails of Fear Edition is an incredibly unique world. It is a realm where the laws of gravity are yours to defy. So here we're going to be stepping into the shoes of Dandara, a heroine determined to reshape a directionless world. Now, transparently, wouldn't say the story is fantastic, but the gameplay more than makes up for it. The unique mechanic here is really its movement system, allowing Dandara to leap from surface to surface, and yes, it takes some getting used to, but once you do pick it up, you are gonna be bouncing all over the place. You will need to master this system as well for combat and puzzles. But yeah, I just think it's unique in the sense it challenges us to think differently about the space around us, and also it's helped by the fact the world is stunning. It's all inspired by Brazilian mythology. Time Spinner, as the name suggests, is a time-bending adventure with a tale of revenge and discovery. Now we follow a young woman with the power to control time. Expect here to travel between eras to avenge our family's death, while also risking the very fabrics of history. The time manipulation mechanic here are really the standout feature, allowing us to freeze time to solve puzzles, evade obstacles, and even gain the upper hand in combat. This mechanic then blended with more traditional Metroidvania elements creates just a really unique experience, and it's wrapped up with a stunning pixel art style that builds this really atmospheric world. It also helps then that the soundtrack really does elevate it. La-Mulana 2 is a world filled with ancient mysteries and deadly challenges. Now this sequel to the fantastic La-Mulana not only lives up to its predecessor's reputation, but also expands upon it with enhanced movement mechanics and even more intricate puzzles. Here though, we're diving into the role of Lumisa. She is exploring the vast ruins of Eglana to uncover the truth behind a series of mysterious events, but also we're looking for our missing father who starred in that first game. Now this experience is renowned for its unforgiving difficulty, but I would say it's extremely rewarding for those who do enjoy thoroughly exploring every single nook and cranny and just solving complex riddles and puzzles. Now yes, like the first game, at times I do think some of the solutions can be maybe a little too obscure, but yeah, you combine this game's world with its challenging boss battles and the classic Metroidvania formula of exploration and progression, and I do think it is a must play. Again though, I want to clarify this, one final warning, by far the most difficult game on today's list It's not even close, perhaps one of the most difficult in the genre as an entirety. Iconoclast stands out in the Metroidvania genre thanks to its vibrant world and narrative. Now the idea here, we are following the journey of Robin, a mechanic in a world where her chosen profession is actually against the law. Now expect themes of faith, purpose and the consequences of power. I do think it's really special, this one, from a narrative standpoint. What I really like in this one though, it's the puzzles and the set of skills that are reflective of our character's engineering abilities. So think tools and gadgets that we can use to navigate the world and tackle enemies. They also do a standout job here of ensuring the boss encounters and the locations kind of underscore the narrative themes. Throw this all together then with the stunning visuals, and yeah, you have a winner that really did stick with me. Lost Epic is a Metroidvania that blends action RPG elements into its exploration. Now here we are thrust into a world ruled by divine beings where you, as a godslayer, you're embarking on a quest to challenge the gods themselves. It places a large focus, this one, on its RPG mechanics with character customization, skill trees and of course a variety of weapons to master. Now what this means is you can actually tailor the gameplay to your style, whether that's going to be magic, melee combat or a mixture of both. Do you think visually as well that this one is stunning with a blend of 2D characters in 3D-like environments? I'd say come to this one for strategic combat, epic boss encounters, side quests to kind of expand the adventure, and also some pretty decent puzzles. Agalos is a love letter to the 16-bit classics of the genre, but it still incorporates some modern mechanics. So here I'd say expect tight platforming thanks to satisfying controls, challenging combat, some great boss encounters, and also a sizable world full of secrets. This is then reinforced with spells and abilities which you do unlock. However, where it kind of modernizes things is the fact as you progress, the world will evolve and you will be unlocking new paths, so it's definitely a great game at pushing you to explore. Now story-wise, we step into the shoes of a young hero tasked with saving the kingdom from the brink of chaos. Definitely an underappreciated one, this one in my opinion, and it's well worth a look. Astalon Tears of the Earth is an adventure set in a post-apocalyptic world where a trio of heroes set out on a quest to save their dying village. Where this is unique, it allows you to freely switch between these three characters, and you absolutely will need to because each actually features their own unique abilities. It definitely pushes you to think about your strategy when it comes to the exploration and also the puzzles as well, because you need to really determine here which hero is best suited for the obstacle ahead, and honestly the same can be said about the enemies you do face. I actually found this one pretty challenging. The backtracking at points got a little annoying because you have to kind of walk back to switch out character, but overall it ended up winning me over. Astalon can properly thank the 8-bit style though and the incredible chiptune soundtrack for that. Haiku the Robot throws you into a post-apocalyptic world. The idea here is you're a small robot with a big mission to navigate through the remnants of a once thriving civilization that's now teeming with strange creatures and forgotten technologies. The game's minimalist art style and atmospheric soundtrack immediately won me over, but then I was further won over thanks to the tight, responsive controls. Now, I will say I don't think it's doing anything overly new for the genre. In fact, it's kind of bite-sized, but I think what it does do, it does real well, and it's probably one of the easier entries on today's list. This one though, there's some fantastic puzzles, the world has a decent amount to discover, there's plenty of upgrades, and the combat, sure it's basic, but it is fast, and it utilizes the movement speed perfectly, so you'll find yourself just leaping all over the place. Vigil of the Longest Night will be a good choice for those that want a Metroidvania with a dark and atmospheric design. Now here, we're on a quest to unravel the truth behind the eternal night, as well as the disappearance of our sister. It's the Gothic styling with this one that I loved, some seriously creepy locations, and some even more disturbing enemies will be found ahead. This also owes a bit to the World of Souls as well, and not just in its theming, but the combat itself. It's more strategic than many on the list today, and it demands precision with features such as different moves to unlock and abilities such as parrying. Now transparently, I could never quite get my head around those parry techniques in this one, but I found my ways to adapt, and the Gothic world on offer here is just stunning. I'd absolutely love to see more set within it. Definitely one of the tougher games on the list today as well as a warning, but I do think it is worth the time. Hunter X comes from the same team as 3000 Duel, but I opted for this one today, and Transparently, it's just because I prefer the world. There's actually very little difference between the two games. Unfortunately, with Hunter X, the story is minimal. We are a hunter thrown into a world that we must clear of darkness and evil, and that is pretty much all it's going to give us. That said though, what I did like was the anime-inspired visuals. They pop with colour, and the animations in combat and exploration look fantastic. I also think what makes this one so entertaining throughout is the ability to customize our lead with abilities and weapons. It's another one basically where you can shape the lead to match your playstyle, and yeah, I personally like to get up close and personal, but many may prefer something with a bit more range. I think this is a great option though for those that want some fast-paced combat in their Metroidvania. Cathedral is a personal favourite. There's something about the overall style that just wins me over. It owes a lot to the classics, but I think it does a fantastic job of being a tribute. Now here you're going to explore a massive world as a knight with no memory of his past, trying to understand the usual what the hell is going on. The story transparently takes a backseat here, but that doesn't stop the world from being mysterious, and the controls and the combat great fun throughout, but you will definitely need to get used to them because it is more unforgiving than most. You can basically thank its retro influences for that. I just felt like this one challenged me in all of the right ways, tough navigation, environmental puzzles, combat that requires some precision, and bosses that ensure you've mastered your growing arsenal. If you want old school, this one would be my go-to. The Mummy Demastered is an overlooked gem. Many might be wary, and understandably so. It's a movie tie-in game, and let's face it, they have a reputation for falling short. But I will tell you now, absolutely not this one. So here you're going to be part of a task force battling supernatural forces that have emerged from the depths of an ancient tomb. It's really easy as well to identify why this one turned out so good. It actually comes from a Way Forward of Shantae fame, so they have a lot of practice with this genre. Now, as is typical of the genre, we're going to explore, upgrade, and progressively unlock new areas, all while battling tough enemies. What makes it unique though, it's actually the death mechanic. Falling in battle causes your character to become one of the undead, and you must defeat your former self to reclaim your equipment. Now this was based upon the 2017 Tom Cruise Mummy movie, but it's honestly much better than the source material. Unsighted is a top-down Metroidvania that throws us into the aftermath of a devastating war between humans and automata. Basically here we're going to be taking control of Alma, an automaton on a mission to recover her memories and prevent her friends from becoming unsighted. Now it's a state where automata lose their consciousness and become wild. What makes this game unique is how this ties into the gameplay. Everyone is on a countdown to oblivion, including yourself. So that means every decision, every step, every action will be crucial. Definitely adds a layer of urgency to the exploration and puzzle solving, which can definitely be stressful as a warning, but I absolutely loved it. This is all then backed up with the option to customize abilities, and the visuals and the music are absolutely stunning. So what do you think? Are there any Metroidvanias on this list that caught your eye, or do you have maybe some hidden gems of your own to recommend? Drop your thoughts and suggestions in the comments. I'm always on the hunt for new titles myself to dive into, and with that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.